Hi guys, just want to make a short video on how to fit a Tegiwa Airbox in a place of a standard airbox. I bought mine second hand, so I don't know what fitting kit or instructions you get with the manufacturer, but if you go online, their PDF, I didn't really find it that helpful. And I couldn't really find much else out there, one or two videos on YouTube, but that's about it. This video is for everybody. It's more aimed at the guys that don't really have much mechanical knowledge but want to give it a go themselves anyway. For the rest of you, probably going to tell you how to suck eggs, but stick with it, you still might learn something. The first thing you're going to want to do is take this rubber strip off here. Then there's two little plastic nipple things in here. There's one here, one in the corner. Just flick them out with a flathead screwdriver, and then you're going to come up here and just gently tease it off. Don't be tempted to stick a screwdriver or something down there. There's only 4 little plastic clips. It's 2, 3, and 4, and it all comes off. You say if you stick anything down here, you're going to scratch your glass, or probably worse, crack it, and that's going to be a new screen replacement. Alright, what's next is these two 10mm in here. Get them out. The reason why we're taking that off is this little black plastic bit's connected to this. You need it out of the way for ease of access to the throttle body and the jubilee cup down there. I've already undone mine for the purpose of the video, just to speed it up a little bit. But your 10mm on your ratchet would be fine. If not, a Phillips screwdriver would be pretty good enough. So you've got like your Phillips connector in there, and the other one down here. And while you're there, just pull these like wires, cables, whatnot off it. And just down here, there's like your radiator pipe. There's another clip on there, a fairly chunky one. After that, I'll take this breather pipe off. After that then, there's 3 10mm holding the airbox in total. There's one down here which I've already took out, and like a 10mm nut in here. I've already taken them out for the video just to speed it up a little bit. Take this little rubber grommet out of the way. There's another one down in here. This is pretty long, so just flick that one out of the way. Alright, I'll take this air pipe out of the way, or the intake pipe. Just gives you a bit more room to manoeuvre the box out of the way. Take that little pipe off there. If you want, you can take this off now. Just give it a little wiggle and that'll come out. So intake pipe out of the way, and then the airbox will pretty much just fall out. One thing you might struggle with is like this pipe here that sits down here. Just like cold air feed to the airbox, if you like. And it usually sits in there like that. There's a 10mm for it, which is that one just there. As you see, mine snapped when you took it out. If you want to get it out of the way, there's another 2 10mm here. Just take this bracket off. Just makes it all looks a bit neater in the end, really. And that's it for this stage. One thing I did forget to say on the last stage, if you're not going to use the silicone intake pipe, you're just going to use the standard one. Pretty simple, don't take it off. Just undo the 10mm on the Jubilee, happy days. If you are using the silicone intake pipe, then The Jubilee clips off these will fit these perfectly. You don't need to go buy any new ones. But what you do before you take them off, just wind them right out. Not so much they ping out with each other, but a fairly good way that just so it's just easier to fit on these, because it is a little bit larger than the standard one. Also, else what you want is this little metal joiner, if you like, whatever you want to call it. It does just twist out. You don't need to give it any WD or nothing. It's just get your grips on it. Little twist that comes out. Now again, you don't need to lube it up to put in. If you want, that'll make your life a little bit easier, but you really don't need to. Yeah, straight on there. And then what I do is just slide it in. Don't tighten nothing up yet, because you might want to move it about when you get the other airbox in. Now will be a good time to just put everything else in. Everything just pretty much just slides in. You don't need to lube nothing up. It's pretty good as it is. Alright, the next stage is actually fitting the airbox. I've already put my breather pipe on. If you say, like, if you get yours like this, set that note at 9 o'clock, if it's coming off a bit of an angle, you don't want it sitting over here like that, because when you come to put the box on, that's going to be twisting it. Just putting strain. I know it'll take it, but it just looks neater if it's unkinked or whatnot. Just keep this nice and loose so you can manoeuvre the box into a good position. Same with this. Just make sure that's a little bit loose, not so much that it falls out, because it's a pain in the ass putting back in. Just keep everything nice and loose, and you can manoeuvre it where you want it to be when you get it in place. Alright, then next is to do that little bracket up. What I found, because I've done mine and wasn't at home, I didn't have any more spares, no spare nuts and bolts. If you haven't got any of that in the garage, here's one of the bolts you took out the original airbox and the other nut. Just put them together. Because that's not threaded all over here, you'll never get it tight. So you've put these on. So it's just like that, and you'll be able to get it tight then. Now nice and tight, and you can do this Jubilee up. If you're happy that's where it's sitting, You get your little 10mm spanner. Just do this little nut up here. You can then manoeuvre this, get it nice and flat, nice and level, so it's looking good, and all the good stuff. You can get your 5mm Allen key, and do this one up here, locks it all off. One thing you can do before you fit it is get some double-sided sticky tape and just put some foam around here. You can see mine, when the last guy had it, I was rubbing on his bonnet. As you can hear, I was touching this as well. So just to save a few like rattles and knocking noises as you're driving along, just put something on there, deadens it down a little bit. And last of all is a breather pipe. It's up to you if you go over the top, underneath, or go underneath so it doesn't get in the way of your throttle cable. When you finish, just go around everything, make sure everything's still tight and you haven't missed nothing. And the final stage is to cut the slot out in your skuttle panel. Right, this is how I done my scoop. You guys might find a different way of doing it. But I basically just put it roughly in here. As you can see, I've already done mine, but and all I've done was just marked each side of the airbox, like quite tight. Give it a couple of mil, and once you've done that, you should have your marks. And then I've got my scoop, laid it on, and then mark that again. So you've probably got about 10mm to play with. If you just pick somewhere in the middle, so like your box isn't going to rub either, and then draw a line and follow the cut. But what I've done with mine, I left a little bit here. For me, it just looked a bit neater. You can just go straight through it a bit more easily. But the cut across here, just going through that way is easy. But the cut down here, I took the blade out of the saw. I just worked my way slowly along until I got through, and just took my time. Something like this, don't rush it. Just take your time. Measure twice, cut once. If you make a mistake, you can go back. So this is the area you want to take your time with. When you finish, just get like a Stanley blade and just cut all the burrs off. Just makes it look a lot neater. It might not bother you, but for me, I got a bit of job satisfaction out of it. And with my scoop, I put a bit of foam on here. As you can see, that's quite warped a little bit, and it helps seal it off. Once you're happy that you've got it cut out, lay your scoop back on, and then just get your pencil, mark out your holes where you want to drill it. I use a 6mm drill bit, 6.5 would have been better. Give me a bit more room to play with. The bolts would have gone through a lot more easily. But if you drill 3 holes, you find your 4th one's in this grill, and all I've done was got my Stanley blade, just cut out one of these. If you put that bolt in last, so then, because you've got a lot of room to play with, once you get these other 3 in, and then just tighten it up in place, and then that won't move about after that. As I said before, I don't know what fitting kit comes with it. If you buy them brand new, I've got mine second hand. If you buy yours second hand, you might be lucky and get your nuts and that with it. All I've done was just got these bolts. If you're going to want some washers, just use 10mm nylocks. You can use standard ones, but nylocks don't tend to come loose. So that was my way of getting around that solution. Well, I'm now about to fit the scoop. You are going to have to take the carbon fibre airbox off. There's just no way around it. You're going to have to take it off. Same as before, when you're taking it off, just be careful of them little clips. Just make sure they're all seated home before you go force them on. All in here. There's only 4 of them. What you have to do is get your palm of your hand on, a bit of weight, and it'll just click back in place. So don't be tempted just to give it a good whack. Just a firm push would be enough. So you could risk cracking your screen again. Once that's all back on, you can put your black little grommets back in. There's one there and one there as before. And then just fit your carbon fibre scoop and you're all done. That's how I fit the box. Don't take it as gospel, that was just my way of doing it. You guys might have a different way, another way of doing it, maybe a few tweaks here and there. If you have, please let me know. If you've got any questions, if you think I've missed something out, give us an email on adamsmotorsport@outlook.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, guys.